Hello, 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 my loves. As always, I hope that this video finds you well and in excellent spirits. Happy Monday, and welcome to another edition of the weekly Astro Forecast live here in the Astro Room on YouTube. I am your host and your favorite astrologer. If the button will press, okay. Mel, there we go, of Divine Feminine Works, where I help people unlock their divinity and discover their magic. So if this is our first time meeting, welcome. And as always, if you are returning, welcome back. So this channel is everything astrology, spirituality, and manifestation. So if those are the things you like, if those are the things you love, or if those are the things you want to learn more about, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell so you'll always be notified when I come out with new content. All right, my love. So this is the weekly astro forecast for the week of September 9th through September 15th, 2024. All right. So, how are we feeling? How are we doing? How have we started off our week? If you are joining me here on the live, thank you so much. Don't forget to hit up the chat, say hi on your way in, and let me know how you're feeling. Let me know how you are feeling post new moon in Virgo. We are gearing up for an eclipse next week. So the energy is very palpable right now. Like, I'm pretty sure you can start to feel it already, but that's next week. This week, we get a little breather because things are a little light this week. Not too much going on. However, what is going on is always significant. All right. And the star of the show this week is Mercury. So Mercury has entered its home sign of Virgo beginning today. And so if you feel like cleaning up, if you feel like you want to get organized, thank Mercury for that, because this is the time to really get it together, get your life together, and get your mind right. All right. So before I get into the details, I just want to mention one thing. If you're someone who is somewhat familiar with your natal chart, but you really don't know the specifics and you want to know more, then you will definitely want to sign up for one of my free. This thing is not working today. You'll definitely want to sign up for one of my free live workshops. I give them every 2 weeks, and it's really just about how to read your natal chart, an introduction to your natal chart, the basics, and a lot of the juicy, interesting details in order to help you get started. Again, it's absolutely free. It's called Your Cosmic Selfie, an intro to your natal chart. I do it every 2 weeks. Link is in the description box below if you are interested. All right. So, by way of announcements, that's pretty much all I have. So, we can just get straight into it and talk about what this week is going to feel like. So, like I said, this is a week that's pretty light. We don't have much going on in the sky this week. However, Mercury is very much Mercurying right now. So, about, I guess, a week and change ago, Mercury went from being retrograde to direct. It was in the sign of Leo, and now it is entering its sign of Virgo. And so during this time, we really have the ability to get organized. We have the ability to clean up, declutter, make order out of chaos. And I really love this energy. So I am getting ahead of myself, but I'm going to give you a little astrology lesson right now. So Mercury is the planet that is closest to the sun. And so it is never too far away from the sun. So it's always like either in the same sign as the sun, maybe a sign behind, maybe a sign ahead, depending on its retrograde cycle, but it's always close to the sun. And so Mercury always embodies the energy of that particular season. So, of course, we are still in the middle of Virgo season. So, of course, Mercury is taking on the flavor of Virgo, which it loves because it actually rules Virgo. So, this is a very communicative time. This is a very analytical time. And this is very much a good shift, right? And I spoke about this somewhat at length in the September monthly astro forecast that I did last week. But it's really so much about summertime, Leo season, it's fun, it's lighthearted. And then Virgo season kind of gets us back on track. You know, Leo is like the star of the show, right? The show, the, this, I want to say the show cannot go on without Leo, although the show cannot go on without any sign. Let's make that clear. However, Leo is main character energy. Leo isn't necessarily concerned with the set design. Leo isn't concerned with the lighting. Like, that's not their job. Meanwhile, Virgo is really the one who is pulling the strings in the background, the way the set looks, the lighting looks, managing all of the stage hands, managing the music. Like, Virgo manages everything. And so when the sun and Mercury are in the sign of Virgo, it allows us to take charge of our life in a way that's sort of managerial and in a way that allows us to clean things up, like I said before. And so, with not too much going on this week, and with next week bringing a lunar eclipse, which is always a big deal, use this week to get organized. I'm pretty sure, especially if you've been outside all summer, that you've got plenty of papers lying around, bills you haven't opened, statements you haven't looked at. Clutter here, clutter there, unless you are a Virgo and you absolutely hate clutter. But you get what I mean, right? It's time to take stock of everything you have. It's time to analyze what's working, what's not, what you need, what you don't, and refresh. There's very much a refreshing energy about Virgo. I'm not just saying that because I'm a Virgo sun. It allows you to refresh, right? Virgo is the perfectionist, is the analyst, is the person who pays attention to the details. So use this week to pay attention to the details of your life. Get your life together. That's why I entitled this week, Get Your Mind Right. With Mercury, the planet of ideas and communication, in one of its home signs, namely Virgo, it gives you the opportunity to get your mind right, to declutter your mind. I don't know about you, but over the last couple of weeks, especially since Mercury was retrograde, I found that there was a lot of unnecessary mental clutter and chatter even in my mind. And so I'm taking this week to really journal and to really get some of that stuff that's sort of stuck in my head out on paper so that it's not here anymore. Right. And I suggest you do the same. Even if you're just meditating, even if you're just taking some quiet time to plan, right? Mercury and Virgo definitely facilitates planning. You're going to want to take the time to do that. And so that you can you can get ready to start the fourth quarter of the year on a good foot, because what will happen then, you will be able to start the new year on an even better foot. So the work starts now, and Mercury and Virgo definitely helps you to do that. And then besides that, everything else about the week is regular degular. Although I will say that there is one day of the week that's going to be extra, extra special. You're really going to like it. So I'm excited to be bringing this forecast to you tonight. All right. So without further ado, let's jump in and see what we got going on for the week. And of course, we will start off with the highlights. So first, we have what I like to call Get Your Mind Right. And this is exactly what I was just talking about. This is Mercury entering Virgo. Now, Mercury will not be in Virgo for too long, literally only 2 weeks. So take advantage of the energy. Thereafter, we have what I like to call Don't Overdo It. Okay. And this is the Sun square Jupiter. At some point during the week, there's going to be this energy of not just expansion, but just like over the topness, excess, overindulgence, could be over promising, over. That's sort of the energy of this one particular day of the week. And so you're going to want to, pay attention to that. This is about perhaps not letting your ego get the best of you, overindulgence, and sort of being mindful, very demure, of being overindulgent and feeling confident and optimistic. The one thing that I will say about the general energy for the week is that there's definitely positivity. There's definitely this energy of buildup because we're making our way to the full moon. As a matter of fact, it's a full moon lunar eclipse. And then we've got the few transits that we have are fairly positive. So it's really going to be a week of opportunity, optimism, and abundance, if I had to sum up this week in a sentence. All right. And then the last highlight that we have for the week is called Luck Be a Lady. And this is Venus trine Jupiter, one of the most positive aspects in astrology. You're going to want to put a gold star next to Sunday, because Sunday is going to be the day of all days before we get into storm season, aka eclipse season. All right. And this is going to bring positivity, gifts, compliments, socializing, all of the good stuff that the universe has to offer. It will offer it to us under this transit. So that's really exciting. All right. So let's take a look at the week. and see exactly what we've got going on. All right. So, very light week, like I said. So, the week of September 9th. First, we've got Mercury entering Virgo, which is happening today. All right. Then we've got Mercury sextile Mars. We've got Sun square Jupiter. And then we've got Venus trine Jupiter. Real light week. All right. Now, let's take a look at what the moon is doing this week. All right. So, we go from the waxing crescent phase in Sagittarius. Then the moon moves into the first quarter phase in Sagittarius. And then we end the week with the waxing gibbous phase in Capricorn and Aquarius. And don't worry, I will be not mentioning, I will be discussing and explaining all of this to you. All right. So without further ado, let's jump into the week and see exactly what we've got going on. All right. So we start off the week today, Monday. And today, Mercury enters Virgo. And then we've got the waxing crescent moon in Sagittarius. All right. Now let's see exactly what this looks like on the chart. So, in the upper right hand corner, you will see Mercury having just entered Virgo at 0 degrees. Okay. And then we've also got the moon moving into Sagittarius. And you'll see that at the upper left hand corner with the moon at 2 degrees of Sagittarius. All right. So, wow. I love making everything look like polished, but sometimes technology gets the better of me. So anyway, I pretty much talked about Mercury entering Virgo, right? So you're going to want to take a look at where Mercury is, not Mercury. You're going to want to take a look at where Virgo is in your chart. This is where you can do some cleanup. This is where you can attend to paperwork. This is where you can make order out of chaos. And this is where you can be of service. Okay, so let's say you've got fourth house of Virgo, which likely means that you are a Gemini rising. So, fourth house being home and family. Home has a lot of paperwork that goes with it. You've got things like your mortgage, your homeowner's insurance policies, and I know these things are online, but paperwork essentially, right? This is the time to get those things in order, right? This may be the time when you want to check your homeowner's insurance rates, see if you're paying too much or not. Like all of the grown up, mature, mundane stuff typically falls under the realm of Virgo. That's how I like to think about it. So going through those things, it could be refinancing your mortgage. It could be doing stuff like that, right? But also the fourth house covers family, like your immediate family members, like your mother, your father, more so your mother and like your grandmother. This could be being of service to them or they being of service to you, right? So whether you have Virgo as a house that really covers relationships, right? Like let's say you're a Pisces rising and you've got Virgo as your seventh house. This could be how you are of service to your partner, or this could be sort of the mundane and everyday conversations or things that you do with your partner. Now, the seventh house also covers business relationships. So those business contracts, business deals, you definitely want to pay attention to those and probably go through those with a fine tooth comb and make tweaks as necessary. But I think you get the point, right? This is when we put things together, we compartmentalize things, right? Think of entering Virgo season as like a child's playroom after they've just finished playing. There's like toys all over the place. There could be crumbs of food. Depending on what your kid is like, there could be vomit in the corner. You know how kids are sometimes. So there's a lot to clean up. You want to put all the toys in the appropriate bins, put all the books on the appropriate shelf, clean up what needs to be cleaned up. That's literally, figuratively, and metaphorically, right? With everything. And so we have this energy at our disposal for the next 2 weeks. So definitely take advantage of it. All right. And then next, we've got the waxing crescent moon in Sagittarius. And I love when the moon is in Sagittarius because it gives us this air of optimism. It gives us a broader outlook on life. It allows us to see the bigger picture. And with the moon in the waxing phase, right? Like I said before, we're making our way to the full moon. It's really about momentum, right? It's taking action steps. And when the moon is in Sagittarius, we take action steps according to the bigger picture, right? And typically we tend to feel optimistic about it, or we have the ability to feel optimistically about it, right? So it takes us out of the details, which is sort of where we're living right now with the sun and Mercury in Virgo, and allows us to see bigger picture. So I love this for today for the reason that I just stated. Sun and Mercury in Virgo, it's like going through everything with a fine tooth comb. It's very detail oriented, it's very granular. Moon in Sagittarius, however, it's like the bigger picture. So while your consciousness is focused on the details, your emotions are focused on the bigger picture. That's why you feel optimistic, because you're like, listen, this is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Yet at the same time, these are the action steps I need to take, the granular action steps that I need to take in order to reach that goal. So it's really important that whatever you feel guided to do today, you do. And you do it with the end goal in mind, all right? And don't try not to get too lost in the details. However, don't allow your emotions to float away into the sky. Like, you need to have a good balance of both. And I feel like the energy for today is absolutely perfect for that. All right. So that is Monday. Let's get into Wednesday. All right. So, Wednesday, we've got Mercury sextile Mars. We've got the first quarter moon in Sagittarius. And that same day, the moon will move into Capricorn into the waxing gibbous phase. All right. So let's see what this looks like on the chart. You will see Mercury at the very bottom of the chart, which is at 4 degrees of Virgo. Then to the left of that, you will see Mars, which is at 4 degrees of Cancer. Then the upper right-hand corner of the chart, you will see the moon, which is at 0 degrees of Capricorn, although it will go between Sagittarius and Capricorn on that day. All right, so let's discuss. Mercury sextile Mars. I also like this particular transit because it really gives us the opportunity to do new things and to craft new plans. It's almost like you have the opportunity to think of something new and then immediately take action on it. All right. Now, the one thing is, and you have to understand this because Mars is currently in Cancer, where it's very uncomfortable. The action that you feel inspired to do, the action that you're motivated on doing, do not expect immediate results from it. Mars in Cancer, although Mars wants to move quick, fast, and in a hurry, Mars in Cancer moves really slowly. And Mars in Cancer will remind you that you definitely need to honor cycles in the sense that everything sort of has its time. There's a time and a place for everything, especially with Mercury in Virgo. That's definitely the case. There's a time and a place for everything. There's an appointed time and place for everything. There is an appointed time to take action. So even though you may have this $1 million idea, right? Or suddenly the sky parts and you get this just light bulb moment, this aha moment, and you're like, oh my God, I want to do this. Slow and steady wins the race. And even if you try to go fast, you probably won't be able to. So patience is going to be key with this. Okay, this could be something that you discover. Like, what I just heard is like you could be cleaning up, you could be going through things and you discover something. And perhaps this thing that you discovered, perhaps it wasn't the time for it in the past, but the time is now. But still understand that this is going to be a slow process to come to fruition. However, suffice it to say, this particular transit, and again, this is Mercury sextile Mars. It's like new ideas, new inspired action, opportunities for newness, opportunities to start something new. All right. Think of a master plan, get organized and take action, but don't forget to be patient. All right. Thereafter, we have the moon is still going to be in Sagittarius in first quarter phase. So we started off the week today with the moon in Sagittarius in the waxing crescent phase. This is the buildup. When we get to the first quarter phase, this is really about acknowledging what you've done and what you haven't done. All right. It's about putting the past behind you and moving forward. So maybe on the journey of reaching a particular goal. Maybe you fell a couple of times, right? Maybe you got derailed. That doesn't matter. The first quarter phase is like, listen, I don't care what happened in the past. You're here now. And the fact that you're here now means that you can still move forward. And so try not to beat yourself up about what didn't transpire, what didn't happen, how you messed up. That's irrelevant. It's all about moving forward. All right. And then the moon is going to move into Capricorn in the waxing gibbous phase. And this is when you kind of, I don't know if you've ever been in a boat, right? And to speed up the boat, they kind of push the throttle down. When we're in the waxing gibbous phase, that's kind of what it reminds me of. It's like, all right, we started off in the new moon, then we have the waxing crescent, which is like taking action. Then you have the first quarter, which is like, all right, I'm here. Doesn't matter what I did before. Now it's like you're kind of putting the pedal to the metal and you're really going for it, right? You're really moving forward. And so with the moon in Capricorn in the waxing gibbous phase, it's really about getting organized and structured. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Saturn is all about longevity. And to have longevity, you have to have a structure. And so perhaps you've been acting impulsively. Maybe you've just been taking action according to how you feel or your impulses, right? When we get to the moon in Capricorn, it's like, all right, we have to do work, but this work has to be structured. We can't just be doing shit willy nilly or shooting from the hip or doing whatever. Like, we have to say, all right, this is the goal. These are the steps that we have to take, no matter how many steps those are, right? Again, Capricorn likes longevity. So, Moon in Capricorn reminds us to structure ourselves, to put a system in place and adhere to that system. One of the key words of Capricorn energy is discipline. And so when the moon is in Capricorn, discipline may come a little easier for us because we realize that it's necessary, but we kind of have the energy of discipline at our disposal. It's like, all right, again, I could have been acting impulsively before. I could have just been wandering aimlessly, but now it's time for me to look at a map and it's time for me to chart a course to my destination. That's exactly what the moon in Capricorn does. All right. So that was Wednesday. So now we are up to Thursday. So let's see what we've got for Thursday. Just this one thing, it is Sun square Jupiter. All right. And let's see what this looks like on the chart. You will see the sun at 20 degrees of Virgo on the right hand side. On the left hand side in the circle, you will see Jupiter at 20 degrees of Gemini. All right. So, if you are someone who is somewhat familiar with astrology and astrology aspects, right? And if you are not familiar, then you will definitely want to sign up for my live workshop. Link in the description box below. I'm not playing about that, all right? You'll know that when we talk about squares as an astrological aspect, it's usually a harsh thing. Squares equal tension and frustration. However, when you involve a planet like Jupiter, with a square, it actually turns out to be pretty positive. Now, I said before, the energy of this transit, it can be a lot. It could be really over the top. It could be, overindulgent, over promising, hopefully over delivering if you're over promising. Just a lot, right? Jupiter is a lot. Jupiter is the biggest planet in our solar system. So anything regarding Jupiter is big, it's larger than life, and it's expansive. Now, here's the thing. If there is any frustration that you feel with this transit, it's likely because the sun represents our ego and the sun is currently in Virgo, right? The sun in Virgo is like compartmentalizing everything. Everything has its place to the point where even whatever you feel, your emotions, you try to put each in a neat little box. Everything has to fit neatly someplace, which can be somewhat limiting. And with Jupiter wanting to expand you, especially with Jupiter in Gemini wants to broaden your horizons, stretch out your mind, move past the small details. So the only tension you may feel with this particular transit is having to focus on the details and then having to see the bigger picture or even see beyond the bigger picture. And that may be a source of frustration, right? Because maybe you are someone who's very, has prominent Virgo energy. And so you may be kind of OCD. You like everything to be in a neat little box. You like everything to fit someplace neatly. And Jupiter is just like, man, fuck all the details. Well, let's go out into space, right? So that's the tension that you may feel with this. But otherwise, it's a pretty much a positive aspect, right? Or a positive transit. It's feeling confident, lucky, optimistic. It's feeling like you can express yourself in a larger than life kind of way. The only other thing that is crossing my mind with this is that the sun represents our ego. And your ego could be kind of playing small while Jupiter is trying to expand your mind. And so that could also be a sense of frustration and tension because your ego is like, I fit right here. This is what I do. This is who I am. And Jupiter's like, you could be whatever you want. You could do this. We could do that. Like it's a whole thing, right? So this could be slightly frustrating, a little tense. You may literally feel the tension. However, I feel like it's a really great way to expand beyond where you are. And while I did say, and what's interesting is that today we have Mercury in Virgo and the moon in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. So that same energy I was talking about of today, meaning that you're paying attention to the details but seeing the bigger picture, that same energy is going to be present on Thursday when we have the sun, which is in Virgo, square Jupiter, which is the ruler of Sagittarius. So it's almost like we have the same type of energy on both Monday and Thursday. The difference is that I feel like on Monday, things are going to gel a little, Monday being today, things are going to gel a little easier. Whereas on Thursday, it could be a little tense because it's like, all right, you're being pushed. Jupiter is going to push you. Right? Think of Jupiter as like someone blowing a balloon. However, this balloon is in a cage. And once it surpasses the capacity of the cage, it starts to seep out, right? And it feels like it's going to pop because it can't expand anymore. That's perhaps how this transit is going to feel, but in the best way possible, if that makes sense. Jupiter is known as the greater benefic, and meaning that it is a planet of positivity. It's a planet that bestows beautiful, expansive, positive energy, right? And so, whatever expansion, whatever tension you may be feeling is really for your benefit. It is to expand you, to help you grow, and to help you ascend, right? So, it's fine. It's definitely fine. It'll be positive. If anything, you'll be feeling lucky that day, maybe a little more abundant, maybe a little more show offy, even, right? Very wanting to shine, wanting to really be seen. But you can feel confident, proud, lucky, and optimistic. All right, so that's Thursday. Let us get into the next day, which is Saturday. All right, so let's see what we've got for Saturday. On Saturday, all we have is the waxing gibbous moon in Aquarius. All right, let's see what this looks like on the chart. At the right hand side of the chart, you will see the moon is at 0 degrees of Aquarius. All right. And just take notice that it is going to be very close in proximity to Pluto. All right. So everything about the moon in Aquarius this time around, as in on Saturday, is pointing to transformation geared toward the future. So whatever changes, right? Because we're still going to be in the waxing phase. As a matter of fact, it's the waxing gibbous phase. Like I said, it's like going full throttle. It's like pushing that throttle down on that speedboat. It's geared toward transformation. So whatever action steps you take, it's really about having a future that's very different from the present. And so you have the opportunity to really transform, and you transform in your mind first. Aquarius is an air sign, right? Rules, ideas, communication. It's like thinking of a master plan. And so think of a master plan for a future that is different than your present, if that's what you choose, but you have the opportunity to do that, right? It's also a great opportunity for camaraderie with like-minded individuals. So if you are trying to change, right? Let's say you're trying to change your appearance, like maybe you want to lose weight. With the waxing gibbous moon in Aquarius, which is going to be conjunct to Pluto this weekend, this would be a great time to find an online group, an online forum with people who are also losing weight or people who have lost weight, right? The thing that's coming to mind is like people who've had weight loss surgery and maybe they're finding it difficult to keep the weight off and stuff like that. Finding a group, joining a group, being active in a group like that is going to help keep that transformation going. All right. And that could apply for anything. But Aquarius is the sign of the collective. And so immersing yourself in the collective, right, with like-minded people may be a good way to take action toward your goals and help transform your life so that your future is different from your present. All right. That is Saturday. And then finally, we get to Sunday. And on Sunday, we've got the gold star of the day. I want you to put a gold star next to Sunday. This is Venus trine Jupiter. And let's see what this looks like on the chart. At the bottom of the chart, you will see Venus at 20 degrees of Libra. And then you will see at the top left-hand portion of the chart, Jupiter is at 20 degrees of Gemini. All right. So this is the quintessential positive aspect in astrology. This is positivity just finding you effortlessly. Now, Venus and Jupiter are both in air signs. So Venus is in Libra, its home sign, and Jupiter is in Gemini. So when it comes to making friends, socializing, when it comes to looking good, when it comes to saying the right things, thinking the right thoughts, Venus trine Jupiter will be perfect for that. If you are someone who like does YouTube like me, publishes blogs, anything of the sort, you're going to want to do some sort of activity like that on Sunday. It's going to be absolutely positive, absolutely beautiful. All right. If you're looking to change your mindset, perhaps the universe will do it for you automatically because we're talking about a trine, and a trine is just effortless. Things just flow. So this is a beautifully positive day where things really just flow to you effortlessly. If you're looking to make friends, if you're looking to join groups, if you're looking to, yeah, I would say those are the best ways to use the energy. Like, go out that day. That's definitely a day where you want to be social. It's definitely a day where you want to let people know who you are, what you do, what you are about. You'll find assistance, you'll find cooperation, collaboration. It's just all in all a beautiful day. And I love this for a Sunday. It's not even just a Sunday fun day, even though it can be. Venus is very much a social sign, a social planet. And in a sign like Libra, we all know Libras know everybody. It's definitely a day to party. It's a great day for a brunch, bottomless mimosas, honey. But keep in mind, Jupiter will always do things to excess. All right. So if you're going to brunch and you're trying to get in on those bottomless mimosas, girl, understand that there needs to be a bottom. Understand that you can't just drink yourself into an oblivion, right? Because you got to go to work on Monday and that's not cute. But have fun, enjoy yourself, enjoy the company of others, talk to people. You know, Gemini loves to chat it up with anybody, start up a conversation, allow different opinions to broaden your mind, expand your mind, broaden your horizons. All in all, it is a beautiful transit and it is a beautiful way to end the week. And I love that for us because we definitely need it because, honey, next week, not the same. Not the same at all. We have a lunar eclipse in Pisces, and yeah, it's bringing things to a close in a major sort of way. So enjoy the weather this week because it's about to get a little stormy. All right. And speaking of stormy, I have opened my books for eclipse season readings where, I look at your natal chart and the transits of the eclipse, see how that affects you. Short, sweet, to the point. It's a 30-minute consultation if you're interested because September begins eclipse month. September and October are the remaining months where we have eclipses this year. Definitely hit me up for that. That service will be linked to the live and the video as well as my free workshop. All right, my loves. And that is how we close out the week. Beautiful energy this week. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. I sincerely hope that you got at least one important piece of information that you can use going into this week. All right. For information on all of my products and services, all of that is in the description box below. I wish you nothing but the absolute best for this week and beyond. And I will see you in my next video. All right, my loves. Take care.